Hey everyone, it's Branko from the crypto team here at Ainslie, coming at you with another crypto spotlight video. Today we're going to be analysing the recent facial recognition debacle that went on with dYdX and how this is going to affect the crypto landscape, particularly in the world of decentralized derivatives. So, quick background, if you don't know, decentralized derivative platforms are just another way of trading with leverage, but there's no KYC, so you don't need to do your identification, or they don't have access to your private information, and more importantly, your private keys, which is what centralized exchanges have access to. So it's just another way of trading leverage. And it's a major player, I think, in the crypto space. It's been a big area of growth recently. Lots of people are kind of turning towards these platforms. And I think dYdX made a big mistake to push for more KYC with this facial recognition. So we'll kind of get into the tweet, and then we'll get into potential competitors that could actually take up market share. And I've got one in particular I think is going to be a big influence and gain quite a lot from this. So basically, what dYdX have done is they've said, we've got this $25 bonus that we want to give to our users, but you have to complete a liveness check. So we want you to sit in front of the camera and show us your face to make sure it's you, and then we can give you the money. Now, this goes against kind of everything that is DeFi, Web3, decentralized. So, it's really against the grain of a lot of crypto users. And that is actually has been reflected in terms of total value locked, and people have slowly started to move their money out of their platform. Now, the question I want to answer today is where they're going to go to. I think there's one particular protocol that I'll announce shortly where they're all going to flock to. But quick to show this evidence that people were leaving. So there's the tweet there. This facial recognition scanning caused a massive problem on Twitter, as you could imagine. This is their TVL. So they were sitting at about 500 million. And the announcement came out and they dropped to about 480, which is about a 4% loss, right? Not huge, but it is a little bit. And this here as well that you can see on August 11, 12, this period, this was around when they announced that Tornado Cash addresses will be blacklisted. So another situation where they were kind of a bit more centralized, a bit more taking control and less privacy when they announced the blacklisting of these addresses that use Tornado Cash, people also slowly, removed their money from the platform. So I think this is going to be a theme. And if dYdX continues to go down this route, it's going to help other platforms that stay committed to the decentralized future that is crypto. Quick, more information. It's for FDV, about 1.6 billion, and then circulating market cap about 200 million. Circulating market cap just refers to price times the circulating amount of tokens, so the tokens that are available now, where FDV is price times the total amount of tokens. So FDV is always going to be higher. Now, dYdX has been the number one in terms of revenue in the decentralized derivatives landscape. But we'll look at some competitors here. So one thing I found interesting was, most of the big competitors are on Ethereum or a layer 2. And I think, if you're a user of dYdX, you're going to be more likely to change to a protocol that's already on Ethereum or a layer 2 instead of changing to a completely different chain. So protocols on Optimism or Arbitrum or just Ethereum are going to be more likely to gain from this than a protocol on BSC, for example. So another interesting note here is a reason why I think layer 2s particularly are going to be more of a focus in the future is because of the increased transaction speed and lower fees. Because when you are leverage trading, every kind of second speed matters. So you want to have a platform that is very quick, and this is more possible on layer 2, such as Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism. Also, the fees are a lot lower. The gas fees are lower than on Ethereum. So that's kind of another reason why I think GMX, it's on Arbitrum, is going to be the number one protocol that's going to take away from dYdX market share. As well as, more importantly, they hold a unique edge because the way that the platform creates liquidity and the way that it gives you the price and the way its fees are structured is very different. And we'll get into that here now. So currently third in terms of total value locked, but I think it's going to rise a lot. So quick overview, circulating market cap, about double what dYdX was, but FDV, about, I think a little bit less than half. A little bit less than half. So still undervalued in terms of FDV. So if you go down to the total value locked again, just comparing it to dYdX like before, we saw they had their dip about a 4% decrease. Well, GMX went up by about 6 million, which is about 4.5% in that one day. So we did see a bit of an increase in terms of percent, and that could be people rotating. There's not enough evidence to suggest that, but that is one potential possibility that people rotated from dYdX to GMX. Now, the reason GMX is so kind of interesting compared to the other ones is it's very different. And that's because it actually uses what's called price oracles to get the price and to execute the trade as opposed to an order book. So price oracles gather, 12 different prices from 12 different, Binance, FTX, 12 different sources. And then that is the price that's used as opposed to market makers in an order book using a price. So the difference is that price is a lot more stable when you have multiple sources like that instead of market makers. Reduces liquidation risks because it lessens the ability of a random wick happening in like a crazy time or volatile time. And then also it saves you, the trader, money because you get the most accurate price and you get lower fees as well comparatively. I think the most interesting aspect is the high liquidity. So if you've ever traded in a traditional derivatives exchange or any exchange, you might notice that if you are a large enough user or if it's a small enough asset, your trade could actually move the price of the asset on its own, right? So the price that you're given might not be the price that you get because your trade moved the market. Well, with GMX, this is effective. I mean, it's not impossible, but you can trade up to like 400 Bitcoin and it would give you the amount. You could trade that up to 10, 20x. So whales are going to move here because it's cheaper for them. That's probably the big takeaway for me as to why this is going to be so significant. If you get a few whales that move from dYdX to GMX, it's going to be a massive change in their protocol revenue and a massive change in the GMX token, which we'll get to. So it's extremely whale friendly because of the low transaction costs, extremely high liquidity, and of course, it is decentralized, so no KYC needed. So they're the three big advantages it has right now over dYdX, even though dYdX does a lot more volume as of now. So we'll look at the GMX token. Another good feature is staking. So right now you can earn about 14% on GMX token, 6% in Ethereum, and then 7%, 7.5% in GMX. So that's another good use case. And the way that it earns money is it gets 30% of the protocol revenue goes to token holders. So that's where the money comes from. And then the more whales that flock, the better it is. The better it is. So it is very exciting. Now, quick risks to consider. It isn't financial advice, again, by the way, but just to give a broader picture, to consider some risks. This is the first Oracle pricing method we've seen on a derivatives exchange. So that's important to consider. So there is a risk of failure as it is the first one. Maybe there could be some black swan event, like we saw. I mean, I highly doubt any lunar situation will happen, but it is the first of its kind, so you have to keep a black swan event in mind. Secondly, there is a risk as well that maybe it could get too big and eventually move down the centralized route. As of now, they've given no indications that is a goal of theirs, but something to possibly consider. And then, the last one being the most important is that we might be a little bit overvalued and overstretched right now. So if we look at price, we've really shot up. This is this past 6-month chart. We were at $25 in March, and now we're at 50. And I mean, it's been doing very well, particularly the past couple of months during a time where a lot of protocols haven't, because there's been a lot of hype around it just because of how unique it is. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you've learned a little bit about this new and exciting protocol. And yeah, hopefully you'll follow us on all our social medias. We've got YouTube. Follow us at Ainslie YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. TikTok, Instagram. Keep up to date. We've got a lot of bullion content, crypto content, different chart content. We're trying to really push that out there. So yeah, like and subscribe and keep in the loop. And yeah, hope you'll have a great day. And I'll see you next time.